Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with the tarot reading for the Virgo season for the Virgo idols. So today is going to be the turn of BTS BTS Namjoon. I believe today, the 12th, I believe it's his actual birthday. So yes, to celebrate this, we're going to be reading for him. I'm going to be reading for him. So yes, let's begin with the cards that he got. We start with the chariot, the card of the chariot. Then we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. Then I got the card of Heart Chakra, then Throat Chakra, and then the card of the Fool. That in here the keyword is trust. And then from the oracle, the astrological oracle, I got the card of Moon in Aquarius, independence. So it's very interesting actually how I feel like this is like a sort of continuation of the cards that I pulled for him during one of my live streams where I talk about him and his energy back then, what I felt with the cards. And now looking at these cards, I'm like, yeah, he's very emotional. He's very emotional. He's very, there's like, he knows he has to move on from certain things, from feeling a certain way, but he cannot at the moment. Eventually he will, but I think that he needs a change. He needs to move literally. He needs a change to come from an exterior force, but emotionally he's stuck somewhere. Um, and it's like when you hold on so tight to a heartache or to a deception, but it has to do with the hurt because he also got the card of the heart chakra. So definitely there's something that is blocking his heart chakra. And then he has the throat, the chakra of the throat. So also there's a sort of like impossibility to talk about what's going on in his heart. I think that when we start with the card of the chariot, that in here in this deck, this card is called, it has a keyword and it says move. And I was going to name this card, I was going to say 7 because actually this card, since it's a chariot, it has the number 7 on top of it. But yeah, it represents the chariot and it has the keyword move. So I think that there could be some movements when it comes to him acknowledging that he has an issue, that he has an issue with moving on. like because it's interesting, because I have the card here that the keyword is move, and next to this I have the Eight of Cups in reverse, and here the Eight of Cups, the keyword is moving on, and it's in reverse. So he has the card of move and the card of moving on in reverse. So it's like, yeah, I'm moving, but no, I'm not moving. Like, I'm not getting over something. Probably his body, his situation, he's moving, he's like adapting, he's like advancing, quote unquote, in life, you know, like going here, going there. But when it comes to his emotions, he's not moving on. He's not doing the proper, he's not letting go of something. So that's also very interesting, how this Eight of Cups, then next to this, it has the heart chakra, the card of the heart chakra. So I think that for him the next 3 months are going to be a month of dealing with his emotional blockages. There's something about him, he didn't have a proper closure, or there's some things about his emotionality that he's not processing correctly. He's not processing correctly. Definitely, he's not. Because then with the with the throat, the chakra of the throat, I'm like, well, he has the potential to move, actually, to move on eventually, but he has to talk about it. I don't know if it's having like a heart-to-heart conversation with someone. I don't know if he's talking to the public. I don't know if he's talking to a specific someone, or if it's like, I don't know, creating music out of this. But it has to do with saying it out loud. Like, say the words out loud about what had been bothering you, about what had kept you there, like hang in there, like he is like stuck in a place in his heart. So I definitely sense that he's very emotional. He's a very emotional guy, but for him, the way he processes emotions, is very, and I believe I said this when I pulled cards for him during my live stream, that for him moving on is not easy. He takes it slow. For him it's a whole process, and it's not easy for him to let go of certain things. It seems like when he's hurt, he really gets like deeply hurt. And even though he moves on when it comes to, like, it's not that the guy is isolating himself or is isolating himself or he's like, I don't know, missing. No, he is going out to life. He's taking care of his responsibilities. He's doing what he has to do. He's not missing any appointments. He's showing up. But in his heart, there's still this open wound. And I think that there must be a reason why the hurt, the feelings, the emotions, they must be taken care of, because they are in the middle of the reading. So definitely these months for Namjoon probably are going to be very emotional. But they are this way so he can connect with his emotions, and also accepting that maybe for him, yes, for him moving on is not that easy. Even when he says that he already moved on, or that he already is like, he's no longer there, or he's no longer thinking about what happened, and he looks so secure, so confident in himself, so comfortable, there's something that is still stuck. And of course that maybe it has to do with his lifestyle, it has to do with his practical self. Maybe he's a very practical guy, and there's something about him being like, oh yeah, emotions, yeah, I know what emotions are, I'm good at emotions, yeah, I feel. But there has to be more honesty. When I see the throat chakra, I'm like, that guy has to open up more. There's something that he has to say out loud in order for him to be free. Probably this is like an assignment, like this is an aspect of his life that he has to, or he has been working with this all this year, or this year long, and probably will continue till the end of this year. Something about connecting his heart with his throat chakra, connecting both of these chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, and being like, I have to speak up. I have to speak about how my heart is feeling. And if my heart is feeling like, if I'm feeling heartbroken, or if I'm feeling betrayed, or if I'm feeling like I'm sad, that emotions that I feel are not that happy, I have to say it. I have to say it. But probably there's something about him also not wanting to, sort of wanting to skip this so he doesn't worry others. Because there's something about this, like this deep sadness that is rooted inside of him. But he also, in both ends of the readings, the first card and the last card are cards that talk about movement. So it's like he's in constant movement and change, but in the middle of the spread, we have three cards that talk about his true feelings. So it's like he can actually, like, or maybe he wants to appear in a certain way. He wants to cover this that he's going through with not worrying people, like continuing in movement, probably being social, like being out there, so people don't worry. But inside I feel that he's very lonely, that he's very sad. And I think that this is like this is very personal. It's heavy, it's overwhelming, but it's part of the way he feels, the way he transits emotions. And of course that probably this is a part of him that he's like, no, if I show it to others, like, people will not understand. So this is why the throat chakra is in here, because he has a sort of, even though he's a very outspoken person, he's very wise and he's very intelligent, there's something about like him talking about his feelings that literally makes his throat chakra block. Like there's something about him talking about how he really feels inside that it makes him maybe breaks into tears, getting ugly crying, and I say ugly crying because I actually, that's the way I also process emotions. When I get emotional, I am a mess, in the sense that I start like sobbing, but my throat gets, like, my voice gets very weird, and it seems like I'm stumbling through my words, and I make these awful sounds, like it seems like I'm choking. So that's what I meant with ugly crying. And I don't know if maybe because I'm thinking about his throat chakra, and I'm thinking like he has probably the same, like it seems like something is stuck in his throat when he has to talk about how he really feels, because of how strong that emotion is. But yeah, then the last card, the card that finishes the reading, is the card of the Fool. So I think that definitely a new beginning is coming for Namjoon. A new beginning, a new chapter, a new project, a new door opens for him. Something very different, an experience that he hasn't had before. So it's going to be liberating for him. It's going to be liberating. It's going to get him out of this emotional swamp that he's in, because he's like very much like he's stuck in there, like he cannot get out, even though if he wants to. But here with the Fool card, this is why the Fool card has like no number. Sometimes it has no number, sometimes it has the number 0, because it's like starting from 0, starting from nothing. So I think that he needs this. It's a sort of reset. He needs this. His soul needs this. He needs this. He needs a new beginning. He doesn't want to continue doing the same things that he had been doing, because those things, I feel like also like trying to maintain the same, trying to maintain him being the same guy, the same routine, the same mindset is not going to work this time. This is why he's so into these emotions, and he feels so blocked, because he had been like sort of trying to maintain this image. He had been like, okay, I have to behave, I have to behave, I have to behave, I have to, I have to continue, I have to continue. And it's like, yeah, in his mind, he gets it, but probably, he's his throat, his voice, his heart feels heavy, like I'm not being true to myself. So definitely what is waiting for him is a brand new beginning that is going to allow him to open up also a bit more and talk a bit more about how he truly feels about certain things. I think that the guy definitely is like, okay, the next time I'm going to open my mouth is going to be really to speak up my mind from my heart and talking about the things that make my heart happy. Or owning his emotions, because I think that he has this ability to feel very deeply, but he has also this a bit of rejection towards the quote-unquote negative emotions. And in this case, I want to clarify that there's no such a thing like negative emotions. Everything is emotions. Even anger is an emotion. There's no negative label. It's just that maybe there are some emotions that are not that easy to process for us. For example, like jealousy, like anger. So sometimes those feel very heavy, and we are like, oh no, that emotion I don't want to feel. I just want to feel the pretty ones, the ones that make you feel good inside. But no, we can have a very wide range of emotions, and all of them are valid. And maybe he's going through this period where he had been feeling very, very dark, like very intense and very out of control, and also like him in his mind knowing that he has to move on, but he hasn't been able to do that because maybe he's deeply hurt, and that's okay. That's okay that you feel that way. It takes time. He has to be patient with himself. And also it's something very personal. No one can help him to recover faster. This has to do with his own experience. This is an individual process. This is not about others. This is why here in the reading I don't see other people. I only see him and his energy. Yeah, and then from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, he got the card of Moon in Aquarius, independence. So yeah, he's going to achieve, the independence card. There's something about him also finding independence. The guy wants to set himself free. Like he wants to do something radical, something out of the ordinary, something that probably I have the feeling that he wants to go into like a sort of routine because he wants to be stable, he wants to know that okay, but at the same time he wants to enter into a moment of independence, not so much be dependent on working on with others or working for others or fixing things for others. He's like, I want to be independent, like let me be, I want to be independent, give me space to grow as a human being, give me space. I need my space. So definitely he's feeling very radical, he's feeling like very different from the Namjoon that I had been reading for him for a lot of years. So I think that he's very different. He's a very different man, very deep, very I have this feeling that at the moment his energy feels very stubborn, like, okay, like I'm stuck in here and I'm not moving. But he knows he has to move on. But to do this, he has to have some very uncomfortable discussions with people or conversations. And he's like, I don't want to be the bad guy, but probably he's feeling very sensitive. So I would advise people not to trigger him or not to provoke him because he's not feeling very polite. His patience is not there. So he's going to be very reactive because he is emotional. He's feeling emotional. So So yeah, but yeah, he's looking for independence, and thank God, this will be over soon. This era of him. I would want to say he's like an emo kid, like an emo guy. Like he has his emo face. I would say, I know there are some people that are very young. Probably you don't know, guys, what an emo is. But when I was young, when I was a teenager, there were the emo guys that were these very dark, emotional, uh, depressed guys that wore black, and were against and angry at anything, sort of angsty teenagers, and that was like a fashion statement, like something like that. But yeah, it's a phase. And probably he's connecting very deep to what's going on with him. But he's going to set himself free very soon. He's going to do very well. So yeah, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.